Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, Lithium here with my wife Ivory.
Hi!
And we're going to bring you a Pokemon collection of all of my Pokemon cards. These aren't any of Ivory's, they're actually my entire collection from growing up. I haven't received any new cards in, well, since we've been dating, so at least 8 years. Probably 10 years. Wow, it's probably been more than 10 years since I got any Pokemon cards. So maybe I would like to get a few eventually, but let's go through my collection and everything I have. Ivory's a bit more of a Pokemon fan than I am, but I have more cards, and I think she played the games more. But anyway, she's here to help me out. And point out maybe her favorite cards and my favorite cards. So I keep them in some kind of a leather binder. I don't know why. My dad collects hockey cards, so when we open this up, I start right away with the first set. And I know it's going to be a little hard to see because of the glare on the cards. We'll do the best we can, or maybe I'll tilt them up like this. So this is the first set, and I don't have that many first editions, and I don't even have the whole first set, but I do have some of the favorites like Charizard, even though it's the base set 2 Pokemon. Gyarados, they're also amazing. A few first editions. You'll notice that I'm missing Blastoise. Blastoise should go here, and who should go here, Ivory? Do you know?
No.
Not Electabuzz, but Machamp. I'm missing one of the most common cards in the entire first set that came with everything. The first edition Machamp that came out all over the place. I think I traded it away for a really good card. So, what's your favorite one on this page, Ivory?
Gyarados.
Gyarados? Really? Mine's probably Charizard.
So powerful, though.
Gyarados
and
is so
way
powerful?
more dragon abilities than Charizard.
Which was weird. Charizard should have been a dragon from the beginning. A lot of people might have known for the base set 2 especially, that if you had a brand new box that you were opening up of like 16 packs or 32 packs, usually the bottom left, I believe, always had a Charizard. So at one point I had like 3 Charizards because vendors would open up the new box and I would go straight for that pack, and I got several Charizards by doing that, which is pretty cool. I don't quite have a full first set, but quite a few. Notables on this page for Ivory. What are notables on this one?
Nidoking, Ninetales, Zapdos. Zapdos was so useful in the Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow edition.
Yeah? I want to say a story about this card in particular. This is the first follow card I ever got. I remember being with my dad at a hockey card, like in the middle of a mall. It was some kind of a like flea market for hockey cards. And I would be there for like 3 or 4 hours, and I would get really bored, obviously, midway. And he'd be like, do you want anything? And eventually I was like, oh, I'd love a Pokemon pack. So I bought one, and I remember coming home. I wouldn't open it until I got home for some reason. Very strange kid. And anyways, I remember it being Zapdos. So maybe that one I actually didn't buy until the end of the day. But I remember getting Zapdos and being shocked and so excited because I thought it was one of the best cards. And he was one of my favorite Pokemon for that reason, so I love that one. You probably have something to say about Ninetales.
I just think Ninetales is so beautiful. I mean, it comes from cute little Vulpix and then goes into beautiful Ninetales. So that's really why I like Ninetales.
They're both cute? That's the reason?
Yeah.
They're both cute. Zapdos is one of my
Very girly
favorites.
of me, I realize.
That makes sense. I really like Pokemon cards. I don't know why I was so obsessed with them, but it gave you so much information. Like, who would have known Venusaur is 6'7" and weighs 221 pounds? That's really cool. And I like how all these are obviously stars and holographics for now, but there was just so much information on each Pokemon card that I thought they were really cool to play and just to figure out. I have 2 Ninetales there because one's a double. Just got 2. And here's the rest of the first set, stars that are non-holographic. I am missing Electabuzz, which is a strange one to be missing, but that sometimes happens. And then the rest of the first set is pretty amazing. If there's anything you want to point out, Ivory, by the way, stop me about any of these. By the way, Arcanine, 100 HP, but then he does 80 damage, and then does 30 damage to himself with Takedown. I always remember that being a crazy attack, even though it was self-inflicted a bit. Farfetch'd, he uses a tool. It's kind of funny. It's kind of strange.
It is strange.
Oh, Abracadabra, Alakazam, such a strong, like, for fighting, I loved, Alakazam was really cool to have.
Definitely.
Oh, I forgot all about the Nidorino, and the Nidoking, and the Nidoqueen, and that whole series. That's pretty awesome. Poliwhirl, Poliwrath, Poliwag to begin with, and how the circle sometimes changes on each of them.
Yep.
That was kind of cool. Magikarp. Talk about Magikarp for a second.
Well, the most useless Pokemon in the deck, you would think. And if you really trained hard, especially in Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, and I think a lot of the new ones, they still have Magikarp, you are eventually rewarded with the amazing Gyarados.
And Gyarados is way better. And going back,
way cooler.
yeah, that's a huge upgrade. So it's kind of funny.
Amazing.
It almost felt like they trolled.
Yeah.
They're like, here's something that is useless that barely flops around into a dragon Pokemon.
I'm pretty sure it can't swim, but, you know.
Porygon, one of the oddest Pokemon in my opinion, especially in the first generation. They got weirder as it went on, but again, some first editions, why not? Bulbasaur, great card. Charmander, great card. Remember having so many of those, staring at those for hours for no reason whatsoever while playing? Wartortle, pretty cool as well. So now we're getting to the circles, the more common ones as well. This one always pissed me off, gotta say, Onix. Onix does 10 damage with Rock Throw, but he's like a gigantic rock Pokemon that's like 28 feet long and weighs 500 pounds, and he does 10 damage with 90 HP. And then Machop is like holding up a planet. Like, literally holding up a planet in that card. Crazy. We're still in the first base set, by the way. That was the very first set ever made, which is pretty cool.
One of my favorites on this one, and that's Ponyta.
Oh, that makes sense.
I just love horses, and so Ponyta was an obvious favorite for me.
Looking at the card specifically, I remember this one in particular because the background, it looks like it's like a normal shot from real life. Like, some of them actually have art.
Yeah.
And that one's just real life. They just gave up and was like, you know what, just put that background on it, it's fine. And then some trainer cards, Vulpix, very cute, probably to you as well. The trainer cards, Imposter and Professor Oak, I remember getting that one, being like, what? That's crazy. Pokemon Center, big help. Professor Oak itself, a big card. The Pokedex. I remember all those. Trainer. And then for whatever reason, because you can see the collector in me, even though I was very, very young, I actually kept these from the original base set. So that's absolutely hilarious. So some reason I kept them from the original trading card. And we're actually going to stop this video here because we're going to do this in multiple parts. And we're going to do the next time, we're actually going to move on to the jungle as a little bit of a preview. So next time we're going to talk about my jungle set collection. So this is going to be a series probably of like 4 videos, but thanks for watching the first one.
Thanks a lot. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
So feel free to fill that like bucket. Follow me on social links below the video. I would love to hear you comment what was the favorite Pokemon card you had from the first base set if you remember these growing up. They're amazing cards. They're a lot of fun still to look at and to pull out, and I'm really happy I held on to them. So let me know what's your favorite card from the base set, or what's your favorite card that you saw that I had. And remember, as always, go collect them all and keep smiling while gaming. Hopefully see you in part 2 of my Pokemon collection.